Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another horror movie night. Tonight, I will be reviewing Dracula 2000, released in 2000. Directed by Patrick Lussier, from a script by Joel Sassone, starring Jonny Lee Miller, Justine Waddell, Gerard Butler, Jennifer Esposito, Christopher Plummer, Colleen and Fitzpatrick, Danny Masterson, Jeri Ryan, Lochlyn Munro, Sean Patrick Thomas, Omar Epps, and Nathan Fillion. Now, this film and a USA Network TV film called Attila were my introduction to Gerard Butler as an actor. And I loved him in both of these films, although I think in Dracula 2000, I think this film kind of lets his performance down just because a lot of his scenes were left on the cutting room floor. And I cannot understand why you would do that, because this is Dracula 2000, and Gerard Butler is your main character as the Dracula character, and they shortened his runtime for whatever reason in this film. And I don't understand it. I really don't. I love his performance, and I've got the special release of it on DVD and everything that has all the deleted scenes and everything, extended shots and stuff like that, if you will, of Gerard Butler that was cut. And it just makes me wonder while I'm watching those that why was that not left in the film when this first came out? Why was the character of Dracula cut down in his own movie to where he didn't have as much screen time in the film? It doesn't make much sense, especially given how great of a performance Gerard Butler gives in this film as Dracula. Now, I will talk about one point about that character later on in the spoilers areas, so if you didn't want any spoilers for this film, now this is a 2000 film, it's been out a while, so if you haven't seen it, go watch it and then come back and watch my review. But the rest of the cast in this is pretty damn good. Jonny Lee Miller plays a character named Simon, and he is an assistant to Christopher Plummer's character of Abraham Van Helsing. And this is the same Abraham Van Helsing that was battling Dracula back in the 1880s, 1890s, whatever time period. But the reason he's able to survive is he's been surviving off of Dracula's blood and living, and he is the caretaker to Dracula, who's been kept in this coffin, almost a prisoner, and he's using his blood to keep himself alive. It's a weird take on the Van Helsing character, to be sure, but Christopher Plummer gives a great performance as the character. And he's very much like Gerard Butler. He does have a couple of extra scenes in here that were cut, which was a detriment to his character, unfortunately. And then you have Jonny Lee Miller's little gang of crooks that are helping him to try and rob Van Helsing. He's gotten this job with Van Helsing to rob him with this group. Among them are a bunch of talented actors, including Jennifer Esposito as Selena, Danny Masterson, Lochlyn Munro, Omar Epps, Sean Patrick Thomas. So it is a really good group of really talented actors early in this film playing his cohorts in this. Of course, it doesn't end well because they end up stealing Dracula's coffin, thinking that there's money and valuables inside of it. And when it is opened, Dracula comes out and basically massacres the whole group of them, minus Simon, who stayed behind with Van Helsing to keep his cover clean and not to let Van Helsing know that he was in on the whole robbery here. But this film has the most attractive group of women that become Dracula's brides. You have Jennifer Esposito's Selena. She ends up getting bit by him, of course, and turned into a vampire. And my God, is she attractive when she is turned into a vampire. She's attractive anyway, and seeing her with this seductive, vampiric vibe to her is just excellent. Another one is Colleen and Fitzpatrick, which many of you in the music industry might know as Vitamin C. And she's quite the actress. She surprised me in this film because, she's a singer. I didn't expect much from her, but I think she's a better actress in this film and more likable as the character of this Lucy character that she's playing than Justine Waddell as Mary, Christopher Plummer's daughter. And I like her performance, Justine Waddell, but there's just something about her. She's a little off. She's serviceable is all. But Colleen Ann Fitzpatrick is just so charming and cute and adorable. And when Dracula gets a hold of her, much like Jennifer Esposito, she is so sexy when she is in her vampire mode. And the third bride of Dracula in this film ends up being a reporter named Valerie Sharp, as played by the lovely Jeri Ryan. And much like the other two, she is very attractive as this cute, adorable reporter character. But once Dracula gets a hold of her and turns her, she is so super sexy as this vampire bride. These three women, when they are on screen near the end of this film as the brides and fighting with Justine Waddell and Jonny Lee Miller's Simon and Mary, it is so epic because of how good they are. You can tell they are totally enjoying playing these over-the-top and badass vampire characters. And they put everything into it. So, love those bride characters. I just wish that this film had done what it did in those. Like I said, I want this film to be released as a extended version with all of the scenes that were cut of Christopher Plummer's Van Helsing and Gerard Butler's Dracula. Because to me, Gerard Butler is one of the most excellent portrayals of Dracula. Just not in the theatrical cut. You have to basically get the DVD or Blu-ray or whatever of the film to be able to see all these special features to get the full feel of how great of a performance Gerard Butler put into this character, unfortunately. And the twist at the end, now I'm getting to that with Dracula. Most people, when this came out, were completely against it and they thought it was stupid. I absolutely am on the other side of the spectrum on this one. I love the way that they took Dracula and made him Judas Iscariot. It makes sense. I mean, his hatred of crosses in, silver. All of the things that vampire, Dracula, anything that's in there, it brings those things together in a very cool, explainable manner that makes sense. So in this storyline, I like the fact that this Dracula is even older than any Dracula we've ever seen before, because he didn't just start as Vlad the Impaler. This Dracula is Vlad the Impaler. But before he was even Vlad the Impaler, he was in time other historical figures throughout the ages. I mean, that story in and of itself would have been a great way to take the future films in this series. Fortunately, they didn't do that. And Gerard Butler was never brought back for any of the other films in this franchise. But, my God, this film is a great Dracula film. But unfortunately, to get the full feel of how great this film is, you have to have seen the DVD or Blu-ray to where you can actually see all those extended and deleted scenes. So I'm going to give this one 2 reviews. I'm going to give my final review for this film on the theatrical cut. I'm going to give this film a 8.2 out of 10. Now, watching all of the extended, deleted scenes and knowing where they go in this film and knowing how that film would have been, I'm going to give that version of the film, which isn't available anywhere. It's just these scenes that you have to put it together in your head. I give that version of the film, if they'd ever release it, I'd give that one 9.9 out of 10 easily. If Patrick Lussier, if you're watching this, please release a director's cut of this film that puts all this back in there, please. I love this film, and I think it deserves it. Now, I know this film did not do that successfully when it first came out, and that might be a pipe dream of mine, but I can dream, can't I? But what do you guys think of Dracula 2000? Do you agree with my review? Do you disagree? Let me know in those comments down below. And as usual, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by the subscribe button, click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan. As a Dark Knight Fan Plus member, you have access to an area on the channel where you can request a movie, TV series, or ranking video of your choosing. And when that video goes up, it will go up live for all Plus members prior to it becoming available for the other subscribers. So if you want to get interactive and help put more reviews on this channel, become a member. Well, that's it for another horror movie night. If you missed last week's horror movie night video, you can check it out in the link above. Or if you have missed any of our videos on horror movie night, check out this playlist and you can check out anything that you've missed.